Hey, welcome back to Hey Jay. 2 days ago, we got a new Nintendo Direct. Not the one that we expected necessarily. It was a lot smaller. It was a Nintendo Direct Mini, but it did come out on the day that all the rumors were saying that was going to come out. So, wow, the rumors were right. You know, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. You never know. But anyways, I want to go over real quick what my thoughts were on the Nintendo Direct. Each announcement, there were 15 in total in this one. Which is quite a few. It's quite a few announcements for what you would call mini. When they say mini, I usually expect like 5. You know, that they just go on. But this one was short, 15 in 15 minutes. So it's basically 1-minute announcements. Now I know that the general feel online seems to be that people aren't really satisfied with what it is. I know that there was a lot of hate on how many ports there were. And we're going to get into all of that. But first, let's go over all the announcements, my thoughts on it, and then I'll give you an overview of what I thought of the whole thing. So I got my list over here. First thing was the end. No, that's not what it's called. World Ends With You. That's what it's called. Final Remix. This is a game that came out 10 years ago on the Nintendo DS. You all know this. I did play this game back when it came out. Played it all the way to the last boss, and I never beat this game because the final boss just destroyed me, and I never really took the time to go back and play it. And my DS has since been stolen like 5-6 years ago, so that save file is gone. So I've never really had the chance to finish this game. I don't remember it too much. I mean, it must have been good enough for me to want to, to play it all the way to the end. But what I remember the most about this game was that there were 2 things going on all the time on both screens, and you had to use 2 controls. And I remember not liking that. So I'm not really sure how they're going to translate that to the Switch if you're only going to be able to play on portable mode with, the buttons and the touchscreen. So the controls is really what's going to sell me on this. Now, the fact that they're adding in a whole new little story, and the fact that it's 10 years ago, I don't remember this. Yeah, maybe I will pick this up again. I remember the music in it being really good, the characters being kind of interesting. So this is a game I might be picking up, but overall, I'm not that hyped for. It's kind of a let's see what the reviews say. Then we have Pokemon Tournament DLC with Aegislash and Blastoise. Blastoise is kind of cool, but I'm not going to be spending money on this. In fact, I don't even have Pokemon DX on my Switch. I have it on the Wii U. And it's not a game I play that much. I'm not that much into fighters. So this really, it doesn't mean much to me. It's cool. I love that they're supporting it. I love seeing new DLC for it. But it ends there. I'm not going to be buying it or playing it. Kirby Star Allies, probably my most excited announcement, which is coming out March 16th. So that's only 2 months away. Is the next big new, am I right with that? It's the next big new first-party title from Nintendo, the first real Kirby game on the Switch, and I'm excited for it. It's nothing really spectacular. It's more Kirby, which that is a little disappointing that, they're not trying to do the whole thing that they did with like Zelda and Mario and just making it better. But I'm excited to play another Kirby game. I really loved the last 2 on the 3DS, which were Planet Robobot, and the one before that, is it Triple Deluxe? Something like that. Both of those were really good, and they were pretty like basic, and like it was a standard Kirby game. So to have another standard Kirby game on the Switch in HD, I welcome it, and I'm excited to play it. And if I can get, it looks like there's some really interesting ways to play co-op in here. So this is a game I'm interested in. Now I get that people don't care about Kirby as much as other like IPs, but hey, I'm in. And I'm so happy it's not like the Curse of the Rainbow Curse or whatever that was on the Wii U. Still trying to beat that game. And it's not because it's hard. It's because I just don't like sitting down and playing it for more than like 10 minutes at a time. I just did not like that one. I did not like it. So bring it on. Then there was a little tease, a little reminder that Battle Royale demo is live for the 3DS right now. I don't care about that. DQ Builders demo on the Switch is something I'm curious about. I've never tried it, and I'll probably try to make a video on here if I have some time. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Okay, this one, like, it's another port, but it's a really, really good port. If you've seen, you've heard me talk about Hyrule Warriors surely before. I love this game. I was addicted to it like crazy on the Wii U. I even started playing it again on the 3DS, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much on the 3DS version. To have a third version on the Switch, it's like, oh, do I want to do this again? Do I want to lose that much time again? I don't know. Like, I just got Skyrim. It's a really fun game, and this is the kind of game like I already know, so to like the portability aspect of it is very attractive. And the fact that it brings in all the DLC, all the 3DS DLC, which I didn't touch because I just didn't like the 3DS version that much, does give me a little bit more of an incentive. This one's really going to be the price point. I'm not going to be paying full price for Hyrule Warriors after doing it on the Wii U. But this is really exciting. This is a solid title to have on the Switch. I welcome it. If you were a Wii U owner, I can see that you don't care for this. But seriously, this is like an A+ game to have on the system. Then Mario Tennis Ace. What I love is that they announced this game in this Direct, because if you remember, this was an E3 announcement on the Wii U when they announced Mario Tennis, and it was not a good game. Like, it was a good tennis game, sure, but it wasn't an exciting game. If you didn't care about tennis, there was nothing else for you here. So I gave it a 6 when I reviewed it. And I see that they're adding in a story mode, which is like, that's more interesting for a little bit more of the casual audience. For someone like me who doesn't really like sports games, but then it gives me another reason to want to pick up the game and do more stuff in it. And the fact that they announced it in a Mario or in a Nintendo Direct Mini, I like that, because that means that they realize it doesn't deserve a big spotlight or a big announcement. And that means that they're being smarter in where they're putting their announcement, and they're saving bigger announcements for bigger Nintendo Directs, for E3 and stuff like that. So that's what I'm happy about there. Otherwise, I'm not going to be... Mario Tennis Aces, I'm not like that excited for it. I'm not paying full price for it. I might pick it up, or I would prefer like borrowing it from a friend or playing it somewhere else. The next one was a nice surprise. Ys 8. I'll be honest, I haven't really been following or paying attention to this series. I mean, it must have been around for quite some time, being that this is the 8th one. But this trailer really hooked me in. Like, well, this looks good. This looks like kind of like Xenoblade, but it's more captivating to me. Like, I'm more intrigued with this title than the trailers I've seen for Xenoblade. I know you guys are like going to crucify me there. I haven't played Xenoblade 2 yet. I have the other 2 Xenoblades, and they're not winning me over. Like, my expectations for Xenoblade was high because I got into it last gen, you know, after everybody went crazy with Xenoblade on the Wii. I love Xenoblade. Like, I don't know if you guys still consider... Wait, was it called Xenoblade? Oh, no, it was Xenogears. I'm getting confused. So I love Xenogears on the first PlayStation, and I never really got into the Xeno series. I'm assuming it's all tied together. I might be wrong. Like, it is all the same franchise, correct? If anybody's very familiar with the Xeno series. Since it went to Xenoblade, you know, I did like the one on the Wii. I have the one on the new 3DS. I just haven't really gone into it because the 3DS is not a system I like to put a lot of time into. It's just not my platform of choice. All this to say, Ys 8 looks really good, and this is a game I want more information on, and I want to try playing this. Next, we got Mario Odyssey DLC coming out next month, which was a really nice surprise. I was really hoping that they would be supporting this game with DLC, and they are, and it's free, which is even better. It's a little weak. It's a little weak, though, in terms of what it is. Hide a balloon, find a balloon. Like, I'll play that one night to try it, but I don't see myself caring that much to want to do that. Like, maybe it's going to be more fun when I actually play it, but from what I'm seeing... It seems like they could have done so much more with Luigi than just give him a balloon mode. So here's hoping that there's going to be more Odyssey DLC coming, maybe for the end of this year. Let's hope. And I'll pay for it if it means another world or another kingdom. Next we have SNK Heroines. I don't care. It's a 2D fighting game. I'm sure there's an audience for it. I'm not that audience, so I just don't care. Mario Rabbids DLC is cool, but this is a game that I have a lot of trouble justifying paying for DLC. The core game was fantastic, was really good, but by the end of it, I was kind of done. Like, you know, you kind of find your formula, and like, I was satisfied. I didn't feel like I needed more. So it's cool to see that they're adding Donkey Kong. The fact that it's paid DLC, how much is it? I'm probably not going to bother, just because, like, I'm happy. I'm very satisfied with my Mario Rabbids experience. It's a very good game, by the way. But I don't need DLC for it. Payday 2, I'm seeing a lot of positive stuff around this. It's just not my style of game. I've never played it, but it doesn't really have that much appeal to me by looking at it. I welcome, you know, it looks like a mature title, so I do welcome it on the Switch. Glad to see more third-party support. Happy for that. Personally, though, don't care. Faye is interesting. It looks really beautiful, and this is the kind of game I think you can't really get excited about, just because there's no IP, you have no reference. Like, all we know is that it looks pretty. It kind of looks like a really special experience, you know, using music and the environment, the atmosphere. And it's made by Zoink Games, which is a pretty reputable indie developer. So this one I actually only paid attention to after like my second or third watch through of the direct, because the other times, like, you're kind of looking for those big hitters. But I think Faye could be kind of a sleeping hit here, because nobody, like, you would have no reason to think that, you'd have no reason to be excited about by looking at the trailer. I don't think the trailer really can communicate this type of game and what it is. I think it's really the reviews and people who play it which will start creating any buzz for this game, if it really lives up to the potential I see in it. Then we have Celeste, which I think it's Celeste. Yeah, it's another indie game, from what I can tell. You know, retro style. The mechanics in it look really good. It looks like a really tight platformer. Curious, not excited, curious. We'll see more about it when it hits the eShop in a few more weeks. Then we had another port, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. This one, if they can get rid of those load screen, like if they can shorten those load screen times that they had on the Wii U, I will definitely pick this up. It sounds silly, but honestly, every time I tried to play it on the Wii U, the load screens were so ridiculous between levels, it actually it turned me off. Like, I don't know, call me impatient, but just having to wait that long to like load a level was just, I felt like I had better things to do. So I never got that far into Tropical Freeze, and it's a great game, great platformer, like beautiful graphics, beautiful music. I want to experience it all. I played the first one all the way through, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and I loved it. And then Tropical Freeze came out, and I was kind of Donkey Konged out. So this one, I'm actually excited that it's coming back on the Switch, because honestly, my Wii U's disconnected so that my Switch is connected to the TV, and this gives me one other reason to keep the Wii U disconnected. So welcome Donkey Kong to the Switch. I think this is a really good way to you know, to fill up the first half of the year with some titles. But again, if you're a Wii U owner, you're probably, oh, more ports. And then finally, the last announcement, Dark Souls. Yay for third-party support. Yay to see this IP on a Nintendo platform. I have Dark Souls on my PS3 and I could not get into it. And people have told me Dark Souls is actually really, like, Dark Souls 2 and 3 are way better than the first one. So I'm not too sure why people are excited about this the first one being remastered. I was really hoping for the second or third title on the Switch, and I would have gladly picked that up. But since this is the first game, I don't know. I did not like my experience in the first one. Although, you know, for whoever played the first game, like, there's a merchant in the beginning, and if you kill him, I guess it makes the game a lot harder. And that's what I did, because I didn't know that this game had consequences to that level. So there was a merchant, I killed him, so I can't even like buy like new gear or anything. And I think that's what, 5-6 hours into the game, and people are like, oh, you might as well, like, I looked it up online, like, how do you bring the merchant back? And people are like, well, you're better off just restarting a save file. So maybe this is what I'll do with the Switch one. Maybe I'll get the game and just start from scratch, since I screwed up last time. So overall, those are my thoughts on all the announcement. Now, the Direct Mini as a whole, I think, was actually really good. It could have been better. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't really following the rumors that much. I was keeping my hype level in check. It's very port heavy. There's not a lot of new stuff, which, you know, that is disappointing. But the fact that they're calling it a Nintendo Direct Mini suggests that they're saving their big announcements for another Nintendo Direct, or E3, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get another big Nintendo Direct, you know, maybe next month or March. So I'm not discouraged. I'm pretty sure that they're keeping their big hitters for a little bit later. Like right now, this is just a little something like the holidays came out. here's a little something to keep you guys going. But we're still seeing, you know, that strong third-party support still being in place. We're seeing, you know, I expect that we're not going to get necessarily the Nintendo first party every month. Maybe after this year, maybe towards the end of this year. But that third-party support, if it keeps coming in, the Switch is going to keep rolling with a solid library. And again, keep in mind, this is a mini, like a Nintendo Direct mini. It's just a mini announcement. It's a little teaser. It's a little something to hold you over until they're ready with their grander announcements. So that's the way I see it. This Direct, though, is solid in terms of, you know, it has given us a lot of new stuff we didn't know a month ago. And, you know, we're still busy with a lot of games we got last month. At least I am. So this keeps me happy for the next 2 months. And I'm excited to see what the next Direct is going to be. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep it classy.